Hello and welcome to another video on rounding. In the previous video we looked at rounding numbers to given numbers of decimal places, and in this video we're going to move that on and use the same techniques to round to the nearest whole number, to the nearest 10, 100 and 1000. So first of all, let's start off at rounding these 5 numbers to the nearest whole number. Now the first thing to do is just to identify the whole number. So here 6.4, well 6 is our whole number. So we've got 6 units and 4 tenths. So 6 is our whole number. So we draw a line after the 6 and we always focus on the number after that line. So we focus on the number 4. Now remember, if this number is 5 or more, then we would round up to 7. Whereas if it is less than 5, we would round down to 6. And we can clearly see that this is less than 5. So 6.4, when we round to the nearest whole number, is just 6. Okay, now the next one, first of all, let's identify the whole number. So this time our whole number is the 4. We've got 100, that's 50, 4 units and 7 tenths. So this is our whole number. So we draw a line down here and we focus on this number here. This time this is greater than 5, so we would round this number up by 1. So 154.7 would now be 155. Okay, so that becomes 155. Okay, the next one, so 4, that's our whole number. So we draw a line here and look at this number here. So this number is less than 5, so we'd round down to 4. So that would just become a 4. Okay, 13.89, so the 3, that's our whole number. So we draw a line here and look at the 8. The 8, that's definitely bigger than 5. So the 3, that gets rounded up to a 4. So now this becomes 14. And finally, our last one, our whole number, that's the 4 here, 4 units. So we draw a line here and focus on this number here. And this number is less than 5, so we round this number down, so that just stays at 144. Okay. Now what we're going to do is move on to rounding to the nearest 10. And using the same techniques as well. So I'd encourage you to pause the video and have a go at doing these 5 questions yourself. Okay, let's go through these answers. So when we're rounding to the nearest 10, first of all, let's identify the tens column. So think of these as place values. So this is 3 tens and 2 units. So this is our tens column. So we draw a line after the tens column and we focus on this number here. This number is less than 5, so we round this number down. So this just stays at a 3, so this is just becomes 30. Okay, it's either going to round down to 30 or up to 40, and this 2, because it's less than 5, we round it down, so it's 30. Okay, the next one, so the 4, that's our tens column, so we put a line here and look at this number. This number is greater than 5, so this time we will round up, so that becomes 15, but we also need to input a 0 on the end. We can't forget that last placeholder. Yeah, if we're rounding 146, it's either going to round down to 140 or up to 150. A lot of people just write 15. Okay, they forget to change this last digit to a 0. It's really important that you include that. Okay, because rounding 146 to the nearest 10 is clearly not 15. Always include that last placeholder. However many digits you've got before the decimal point, that's how many digits you should have in your answer. Okay, so be really careful about that. Okay, the next one, so our tens column, this is our tens column, so we draw a line here and we focus on this number. Again, this is 5 or more, so this number becomes a 9, so we round up, so that is 190. And again, we've got 3 digits before our decimal point, so we should have 3 digits in our answer. Now you could write 190.0, okay, but we don't need that last decimal place. Okay, so it's just 190. Okay, the next one, so the 4, that's our tens column. So draw a line here and look at this number. This is less than 5, so this stays the same. So this is just 140. Okay, 3 numbers before the decimal, 3 numbers before the decimal. The 1 and the 4 stay the same, and the 1, that becomes a 0. And the last one, so this is our tens column. So put a line here and look at this number. This is greater than 5. So we round this number up by 1, so that's 1010. Okay, these 2 numbers stay the same. We round this number up by 1, and everything else is just 0. Okay, let's move on to rounding to the nearest 100 this time. And again, pause the video and have a go at doing these ones yourself first. Okay, let's change the colour slightly. So let's do it in red now. So to the nearest 100, so identify the hundreds column. So this is our hundreds column. This is 300. So draw a line here and look at this number. This is greater than 5, so this becomes a 4. So it just becomes 400. Always remember to include those zeros after. Okay, so we draw our line after our hundreds column and look at this number. Now we've got a 4. This is less than 5, so this stays the same. This is just 700. The next one, so this time the 3, that's our hundreds column. So draw a line after the 3 and look at the 5. That is, because it's 5 or more, remember when it's 5 or more we round up. So this becomes a 4, so that is 3400, 3,400. Okay, our hundreds column is here, so 800. So draw a line here and look at this number. This is less than 5, so this stays the same. So it's 1,800. And the last one, our hundreds column is here. So let's put a line here and look at this number. Less than 5, so this stays the same. And just remember how many digits there are before the decimal. So we've got 51,000, 51,000. Okay, let's go on to the last set of questions, and these are rounding to the nearest 1,000. And for the final time, pause the video and have a go at doing them yourself. Okay, let's do this one in pale blue. So to the nearest 1,000. So the thousands column, this is our thousands column, the 5. So we draw a line here and look at this number. This is greater than 5, so this rounds up to 6. So this is just 6,000. Okay, the next one. So again, this is our thousands column. So let's put a line here and look at this number. This time, this is less than 5, so we round this number down to 6,000. And notice how we've got exactly the same answer. So 5,600, that rounds up to 6,000. 6,480, that rounds down to 6,000. Okay, and that makes sense because this number is less than 5 and this number is greater than 5. Okay, the third one. So this is our thousands column. So let's put a line here and look at this number. And again, this is less than 5. So this time, this number stays the same. So that is just 5,000. Okay, the fourth one. So our thousands column this time is the 6. That's 6,000. So we draw a line here and look at this number. Less than 5. This stays the same. So 5, 6, and everything else becomes 0. 5, 6, 0, 0, 0. 56,000. And our last one, but by no means least, 1,000. So this is 3,000. This is our thousands column. So let's put a line here and look at this one. Greater than 5. So this 3 now becomes a 4. So it becomes 5, 6, 4. And then everything else becomes a 0. So it's 564,000. So hopefully that gave you a bit more of an intuition with rounding to the nearest whole number, 10, 100 and 1,000. And notice how with all of these it's exactly the same technique. So if you were rounding to the nearest 1,000, firstly we identify the thousands column, the place value of the 1,000. We put a line to the next to it and we always focus on the number to the right, and that determines whether we round up or down. So if it's 5 or more, we round up to 6,000, whereas if it's less than 5, we round down. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I'm going to do another video, and in that video we're going to look at rounding to significant figures. Okay, thanks for watching.